Yes.
Disappointed everybody.
Sure.
Because Yenimsan Kanya Shebia attack and team mom goes baby. Now defense and the acquire nan on the name. Now Omakoshe, your general impressions and observations about the game and some about specifics. I may have a reti playing body no.
I think coach and the carry to me about so yes, I was one of many kinds of can say the hope in the world for Kotoko to qualify, especially considering 3 goals against a weak side Kwara United. Kwara Osha more pedigree as compared to Asante Kotoko. Osha materials that are available to Kwara United. Osha team no setup. A team or close to 17 new signings. A let go of 20 players. Team or just 2 experienced players in the competition of mobile. Even though Asante Kotoko players, no majority of them are more that Confederation capable, but it being a taste of the national teams to coin and say experience no, and no compare more. Ahead of a year Kwara United, but ultimately at their cross posted my game. Asante Kotoko dominated almost half the first half, second half, a little bit of it. But Kwara Fono was enjoying the game, creating chances so easily, operating through the defense of Asante Kotoko, committing silly mistakes. Now, so many 3 goals were playing at their own back gear in Nigeria, even though they more like away game because they have to travel like 6 hours to a year Abiokutano. Now, there's to score 1 against team share 3 day, then it's difficult for somebody to say Kwara for Ebeshe. And remember, Kotoko last 5 travels to Nigeria. Eddie Mas and Kotoko Umbidinkunim Nigeria against any opponent opposition as and Kotoko. Now I didn't have that hope say coach and Dinya Dikarim Zito in the Marantian with me advance Kotoko. Not that Kotoko in a good side, but what I saw in Accra Sports said when they na Mijidino Ewa from Kakra. But Karim Zito show something say Osunya game no he watched the game very well after the first leg no was actually how to stop Emeranti no
and or rectify the mistakes
exactly
committed because unpardonable some of the mistakes were unpardonable
exactly. And then say Kabiba boy with the lineup now the lineup no MIU who say he want to qualify the lineup no confirm MIU there Kotoko want nothing but to qualify not even to win the game or but they went with the plans of Mokako qualify. Normally, Kotoko lineup, even the back 4, anyway, we take home.
Yeah.
Apart from Mohamed Kamara, Lord Amwa.
Okay.
Mostly abroad from injury. Prosper time they na convinces on the rest but Karim Zito buy mostly Abrone, Sambane, Hansu nebo, but Hansu mixed the Koko in the top 4 no. Emmanuel Tanchen. And left side no Patrick Assie do if not the injury in the first leg na nema on 100% fit no and get convinced and as a predator will say on the start game and he mostly and yes this lineup no but he understood the game to the extent that Omuzenko for no omobo quick play and the players no mistakes or more no children so I just go be na say omoko with the idea say omoko pegu abe defend their one shana and one and he decided to play on beer or more you can say a mindset of defending from the number 1 the goalkeeper to 6 players from the goalkeeper and some the other half of Asante Kotoko attack the likes of Lord Amwa Joseph Ablo Henry Ansu Joseph Amwa Samba Adabo they are all defensive minded
6 players.
Defensive minded. Shannon so says Samba no defender Ankasa. And on the idea was that we are not going in for a win, but for a draw or to avoid defeat. In a winner, and I think coach with the lineup alone a winning game in the first and Kotoko. And I'll be very surprised that Kotoko one holding midfielder, no the flare, somebody like Seth Kojo, Emmanuel in a game. Only nothing but to avoid defeat. And but this lineup from from Karim Zito no Emma who say he learned from first leg now or body tia Kwara United and I'm not surprised Kotoko and committed a lot of mistakes as it happened at Accra Stadium. This game I insist
I'm saying as a Kotoko home games in Africa.
Yeah.
Kotoko share Kadiogo awi no abelusu and kwade babayara.
Yeah.
Kotoko ni Iuma 0-0 ewo Algeria na Kotoko belusu Kotoko ni Bejaya okobo 0-0 ewo away ya na drew time bia dia na because and then you could see and Manchester so well settled, almost settled in time into the game, and now we pray now tifie pa samba of all people no Hamzata ko pre ball na tia to me akoba
yeah Pepe most of the time say boy away game I na pressure ni new supi say the team now obo you know most of the times na yana opponent no per se or bibi chen supporters and say ye wo ho bit marry na na say be win so away team no elusu a ayana en hane p because onim say ono so babu fi no or that number 12 advantage in the supporters and yana pressure no en share any p eventually today game Kotoko boy and it was like more like an empty stadium na Kotoko boy and there's no pressure on Asante Kotoko as compared to AB and Komoba a crowded no majority of players na bi go crowd bi hu sa crowd ne da ye bo game a nipa e wo bebre no ibi wa omo hu bi da e no alone to me the pressure to omo so enti obo fie no for many years as an go into me call many the Confederation Cup no very lucky for them and kwanko Baba Sports maybe an numbers no hu na kra no e be number as compared to the Baba Sports mostly the pressure will come on players no omo bofi am sure say ena na yana emma players no ntimi and stand that pressure na a free supporters ba demand to win the game no matter the opponent are on the bono ena na yana ma Sami 6 no echo but that game ni the Sami 6 ne echo no me carrying Zito na midfield because from Kotoko top 4 even take over as an Kotoko team no. The only game or boy much convincing was against Dreams FC and Kotoko share 4-1. Every game as an Kotoko will be a pressure or more committing mistakes. So I always asking say on game na say on hwe team ni hu baby am 6 ni won ensi hu akwan because every game Kotoko will be irrespective of opponents Kotoko no be no matter the way, how Kotoko will play definitely after the game omo committing mistakes nti kamia ko say na onhu how obe pair ne 4 and 5 no most of times na yana ema Sami 6 ni ba because Hamzata Samba omo more da their first game was against team and dinya there Quarry and ema Sami 6 ni ba yes nti me bona boss won in lineup no the static game I think that win the game for him
Karim Zito over 10.
Oh, in this game, I'm 8 over 5, 8 over 10.
8 over 10.
Yes, this game, the 9 up and the substitutions were on point. At the time, Nakotoko aiming to be more consistent, more this word, remaining focused within the game.
Focus and compact in the
exactly. Na sa petty mistakes, you know. I say, Omolusu. Word in Bameka. Most of the times at a crash post, Omolusu. No, not even that. Almost concentrations. Okay. But in this game, concentration who to bring him on board. The substitutions were spot not and the boy remains very focused within the game, especially at time Kwara for a lot of chances with perception penalty no. Still Kotoko were very compact. No boom. They were holding on. Equity fouls around the center circle, which I think a good coaching from Karim Zito. Yamon Abaso in this game, so he had it correct
because the substitutions no had timer
or they entry crab by
or they entry in fact time or this could you set ebe yi adabo
yeah
na could you be can samba home as a nadia because last week from the 70th minute near expect say
obey sanya
ma ko ba be can double home
no we protect yourself for two
afa omo gina mfimfiri but
I think he no just more goals and
last week he failed to coach but another
yes
we saw coaching from the lineup
he did very well
and the substitutions
he did very well. I'll give you 8 over 10
hey coach I don't know one player and that's what surprising for Joseph Amoa
yes
oba Kotoko no on said that matches no in fact pre-season na Kotoko use soon as a right back option rather than left back in jumbo games of pre-season no a right back option mum and then coach this week training omo or software alignment now or the boy no pretty from the left side
yeah
na you be anwa Kotoko baba in fact omo bo omo list omo dey after Thursday training na patikasi edunka ho e go example you for business here ada wapra so that me pray and omo drop yimum
Francis Akwa
and the coach had the trust in him the first start new
yes
league match and Kotoko boy no on first 20
yes what is it
the coach had the trust. Let's look at that boy.
Joseph was a player Kotoko na and Cheneba say almost trying to contract him so back here
yes or the offer
Johnson and I feel that first of all he coach wanted to let people know say player na to no one sense.
Okay.
Maybe a time no nya yentina amanfo hu ni say woni bɔ no. Enti me sure say pep talk no so a lot between only coach and the carry Zito and on Ankasa. I'm sure they did that because for Kotoko to drop Francis Akwa. Now, yes, still on the corner on Patrick Sedua, even though coach medical team are catching so on 100% fit. Now, yes, still over this Joseph Amwa, a best at I think coach and Kasa ye patch a catch and say this is an opportunity for you, a away game. People will then have trust in you. Say in the absence of Patrick, in the absence of Francis Akwano, there's a certain Joseph Amwa, getting Bishima or boy, and he had it perfect. He had it right. Or Bobo no come Edma Sandikoko, and one committed some mistakes na so Asha Patrick said do a very good attacking or defending or did but most of the times attack committed fouls around the area. So Kotoko against. It was a game against Baby and Gusas, Nenya Cra. Or attacking better, but a chill dear, not Berma, but you shouldn't sound for a coach and a test in Kotoko games. No, to me, sure, say Joseph Amwa, one thing coach Ekachian was not necessarily adding more to the attack, but try and defend very well because in this game we need somebody who will be defending ye. And a reason here coach is going for no because Patrick Sedua, he enjoy playing the ball more, he enjoy joining the attack. Kotoko in the first leg, or almost 2 assists at Santi Kotoko. Yeah. He loved going forward, so or Boama attacks na she go. But or most of the times, he and the into a new beer or you good so very recover man na asema beto. This boy on your dear match as compared to Patrick Sedu in helping you with attacking, but yeah, basically he defended with your left back corner. Were solid, and I think that is the reason Tia coach decided to say game na yekono not necessarily per win, but yeah, you see, protected your 4-3 win now in the first leg, and that is the reason Tia one coin with somebody here, or yes, or did Joseph Amwa ever boy, and I think he did very well. So I'll give him 7/10 in this game. Yes,
over 10.
Yes, in this game, even though the opponent are questionable because a worker and but even though in the first game, yes, and he was solid because not on calling impinge no omre. Yeah, no on calling impinge no omre, and I think he did very well.
Returning from injury, yes. Nano Hamzata was
Hamzata on number 2.
Yes, 80, but not being hot because 2 for in their play. And a coach at the boy and Papa, so they had to throw in Lord Amoa from the start. Our free injury. You watch Lord Amoa in the game. Your assessment of Lord Amoa
for Lord Amoa, last season he showed clearly say number 2 near as I call yes a producer number 2 Menkai Crady the current deputy team manager Olomo Emos Frempong superb Okwechika Krakis Vanetti similar thing some
Samolinkum
exactly and among me and Sanam Bueno the washoa me who say or more quality nibino Branty friend Lord Amoa and Lord Amoa last season was superb this season he engineer by a hand Pamiamu Shemen as an echo confirm say with prayer and you like you said about season nibino I was not far for seeing a buy on one side player. No, I was asking myself a lot of questions. One about 15 for Asante Kotoko. Even though Hamzata against Baby and Go Stars, pressure PR man or so, and luckily for him when you go the moment, not hope number. But against Korea United, Flair no or more bono, or multi chino, you how exposed Hamzata was, and it wasn't any better decision from Karim Zito say or they Lord Amwa in today's game and Lord Amwa. In many games, previous for Asante Kotoko, naturally say number 2 near on both defending and both attacking, and then one committed a lot of fouls around the 18 balls because most of the times all boy away games are teams opponents Quara 4 in the first leg were using more of the quick play lines so. But in this game, they decided to do the same thing. But because Kotoko had the mentality to say, and you're going near penal. Not most of the defenders in was yes, and I think a Muyepa in this game, Lord didn't disappoint me that much. Even though not sometimes or my crime but then Chihuahua Quarafono is in most of the times, but Ankofa go amount so in this game I'll give him 6 out of 10 in today's game.
6 out.
Yes, he wasn't bad and he wasn't too much convincing for me in today's game.
Yeah, 2 centre backs in the moment. Ablo. Any Abranche din Ede Henriansu and coach did that because no person movie samba.
Yes, every
that
gen
samba
6.
they presence eba me the because and now Nigeria for echi fa almost. So how will you assess the two centre backs Ablo and Henry Kwame Ansu?
Karim Zito Jumaya pa. I don't know why. Meaning because coach I'll buy do and chair bear roughly 6 months more any. But in every game he keep changing the 4 and 5 no. Meaning what they do at training. As I understand and they need these two players no. Even for Henry Ansu and then the, Joseph Ablokra the last season they were there. There should be some understanding among these two players. But yet again in today's game, Kotoko were very lucky because Kwara Fanche go. Omo create a lot of chances ewa Kotoko 18 boss more. At the point in time, Bob Akwa Karim your friends Mohamed Kamara a point to me. There was no Kotoko defender at that center 18 box get to na only defenders on Quebec club on a front no be anywhere. And two holding two defensive players number 5 for me you know Joseph Ablo and then Wafa. None of them were existing. And a very questionable old body at your workers. Anyway, we see what you're sure baby among very intelligent players into defenders no and you're very solid which they were intimate and communicate among themselves and country so we stay behind that. Always you'll be laughing at your own side of your mouth, even though they did not concede a goal in today's game, which is a plus for their defending. But I think it is still a problem for coach and Dinya Karim Zito. So last season when when Joseph Ablo Pride,
yeah.
Not prosper the equal way Romano, Justice Blay because not Blay no
he's so Bokakra Sifa
ever Bokakra because no mono among committing mistakes which solid normal boyfriend, but meaning why Abro and then Henry Ansu Mabom whole last season, but yes still you keep doing petty mistakes which actually especially in away games. All time opponent we are boxing more penetrate so easily. I want to be on my boy and to cool Hubert Gyau good mass and Kotoko and defenders of this top quality they won't just away, which is very bad. This is a game against Kwara United, a team with no pedigree in Africa. That's how committee such mistakes. It's very terrible. As a coach, a young man in the players, no, especially 4 and 5, no, and then Mohamed Kamara. Later we come to him, but the 4 and 5, no, so no more. No Kasabia. Anytime bia, Babu bia. Apart from somebody Joseph Ablobono, I am 6 no, and no, no. Or Sunny bia, me 6 bapi. Or some mean bia. There's huge mistakes. It was an good defenders, and it is a headache for me. Coach and Dini Karim Zito. You need to sit down with the other technical team members. No Monkasa. Not on finding
an antidote to that.
Yes, and then confidence in and also on those who be starting regularly. Not on more in the absence. No, don't be on working on them because somebody prayer, not somebody no one say you rely on somebody like Joseph Ablo, and then Hansu. Not say at crucial points where you need them, not they are missing. You be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth, which is very poor for a team like Asante Kotoko. I'll give them 5 out of 10 in today's game because they did not concede. But I think chances of Kwara for critique, any better team and Kasami you can't stand for.
Now Kwara San shoot from afar.
You don't give them that spaces for them to shoot. You don't do that.
Right. So 5 each for the centre backs. Let's go to goalkeeper Mohamed Kamara, who was in post. He kept a clean sheet, but he made some horrible decisions.
That is my worry.
There were 2 balls bia or Chiba ku Jim Nitie.
That is my worry.
And Bakus of course or Chi ball in the first half. Or better form.
Born
evidence. Obia anchoring Tinyadiana refugee foul at the one, but luckily for him, na enye opponent to Jinawa or Twaso. Yanche goalkeeper Mohamed Kamara.
Kamara is a very good goalkeeper. Most in Kotoko games, watch say Wayadie, but some mistakes now. Meaning Kotoko to say current goalkeepers trainer where.
Joba.
And Joba is very experienced goalkeeper. I don't know why. So on Channel say minimum because after games be I think only video analyst net na watch mistakes are goalkeeper na yeah. Then you work on it, not the normal routine at training. You need to work on mistakes are all Then you correct him to make him a better goalkeeper because in every game on Kamara commit mistakes. every game be a machine be either he keep a clean sheet or he commits mistakes. I don't know why.
Normally of the opinion say
game
but I say difficult decision.
Yes, of course, against Kaiser Chiefs or
goalkeeper. Even Ghana, Kotoko, Diana over penalty has President's Cup, no watch penalty.
Especially in Obiako fan by your own playing terms.
Today, difficult decision for the coach, and I think that Kotoko mistakes no Kotoko as so far from it. Coach say a kaya say uniform, but no difficult so Edema coach.
Yes, for decision to keep him in the end, coach Enyan right said the work because there in the Bayano on it. Team no crown more a lot of matches. I think the only game was in the top 4 and you share no Sabo no PA na went me and yem from no, which is very poor goalkeeping. And Niba is an experienced goalkeeper. You need to work on those mistakes. No, Kamara required them most of the times. Opiebe ebe punchable or mesebo in the air. Which Yanyan is a goalkeeper. The Opiena say mesebo in the air. Exactly. I'm expecting him to work on him very, very well. He didn't concede in today's game. I'll give him 7 out of 10. But Sam 6 now committing the Pepe against any serious team or number 9 be a cup. I bet I'm on a ball for the opponents and because who miss a ball and who punch a ball into the 18 balls where you have your opponent around there. Risky. Yan saying, oh baby, and minimum. Normal training, normal training. I say that or normal routine for training. Watch the game, identify where the mistakes is, solve it. That is what we call coaching. And she said, "Debia, kona say bia, moto to boba, na master stretch, ma short match chichina." And yes, I know. Watch them most of the time. Say, "Boy, no short to beat match no." But our problem, you too born for Wima. Despite the height, he struggled to catch the ball in the air. That is a coach decision to work on him. Say, obeti ma buana matima chichisa boss no. Your punchy board but 2 boss are very dangerous area for Asante Kotoko. You need to work on him. I don't know say most of the times it's all punchy ball and say opponent to don't point the ball to your opponent. Yanya samba bia and you need to work on him.
Yamra samba so our middle.
Yeah,
was it a master stroke? Was it the right decision? As a man, said the Nigeria forum. No mutimi in Accra no but easy no. As a especially in the first half. Now Samba I provided a certain shield and cover at the ama 4 and 5. So that game.
Kabutine didn't say born Boston. Samba today was solid and fantastic. I think the decision to play him in that role no Prosper introducing in that position, right? Some most of the times say in from here will be about defensive and not but I think Prosper did that.
Or the new one but Zito buy no.
No, you seen
buy now bought 2 games, piano beach now.
Yeah.
In 2 games he was super, but game back games being especially FA Cup final now.
Even the top 4 one about could be
yeah.
But today he was solid. I think the reason Tiana team and the Carafono and team too much on Kotoko Wachirono. Tosha last week they had control in the middle.
No.
Not Lord Hilaria Dabo Ayrakra. But in today's game, we saw him very well because no Obo Bia Nedi say Yamobu Ganamano. Exactly. And he did it in to the perfection, and I think he did it very well. Somebody will give him 7 out of 10 in today's game.
7 out of 10.
Yes, he was solid in today's game. Adabo, I won't say much about him because and what he was missing in the Accra Sports Stadium. Yes, he. The reason why Kotoko went for him, that is what he did in today's game, and I'll give you 7 out of 10 in today's game.
Hubert
said, and you can say, man, and I
am story be na man farmer who become Mufu on pass pennyphobic general was almost never colonna as a was shadow na. Nam say,
so I said,
say,
Nana Peter me do a corner more.
Now, Hubert, you know, and I walk Becum Chelsea. Only Chelsea Boba or Commandment. The same Kotoko pair Ismailado of Pando out of and as some me, I'm afraid Penny back on say, and when you're sure because we with my proposals, I didn't my encounter.
Hubert, apart from the good no share and cry, he gave some minimum said Kabiru Behudia a sweet pass to Abetamwa.
Yeah.
And Charlie. Even though in stature and only smallish, but the idea, the intelligent out of the ball is superb. And today, go on alone. So Kotoko in the first leg, I don't know why today they were missing. I bet in here side, but na goalkeeper no may who say obo shot in the ball so most of times on team
yeah,
especially shooting from afar. But in today's game now minim say bia na kodoko phone person twetwe go ATM bottom ni o mabo something beautiful asheni ansana ya hu so much go there. But that's idea to rush even ball no kra na nye kodoko ball. Kwara was attacking, then they lost the ball and more clever ball nanko. And look at the speed he picked the ball, the control, shooting with the unfavorite foot left and then the shot of boy no. It is somebody or share the position of the goalkeeper before he shot that ball.
The goalkeeper had no idea it's a ball there, but
and he was superb in today's game. For a player in Excalibur deciding a game for Kotoko, I mean, am I Kotoko progressing and
yeah.
There's nothing to give him the man of the match in today's game, and I'll give him 9 out of 10 in today's game. Apart from the goal no alone, me say he gave sweet passes to Kotoko anymore. Morfin Donzu, Abetamwa, which they failed to convert those chances. But on one case, I play in today's game with the goal share, no, he's my man of the match in today's game, and I'll give him 9 out of 10 in today's game.
Wow, fantastic! Now, Yanko Pitami Duakwaso. Peter also on the left, no tracking back pa Ebeboa Amoa Joseph Amoa in the first half, and then generally no picking ball now or some movie ball no pa Emma Omo captain Musa Abdulhafiz. They not share 22, no come more, but Peter started so could be a man Chibanichi. Yan Peter Midwaka.
In the first leg, coach Sani can say player or how more power was Peter Midwaka. I was more left side of the fence. Player no to Sani no who say on the best player for Kwara United no I say actually no player or the strong side of them no na Peter man no a headache point in the return leg which is today no obe my player strategy they stop Peter and then mama say today anytime you Peter Beji ball in Accra there were 2 men surrounding him, but in today's game most of the times you see 2 people. Again, there's another player behind number 2 now. And it was a strategy to get Peter out of the game. That is why a match from Peter Midwaka as compared to first leg now, Kotoko boy, And like you said, he was helping the defense of Asante Kotoko. Karim Zito to me, I sure said the communication to the players was that don't rush getting a goal. Let's help the defenders and prevent them from scoring, which Kotoko did it perfectly. That is why much effort from Asante Kotoko pushing for more goals as compared to first leg no boy, and it is the reason why we didn't see much influence of Peter Midwaka in today's game as compared to what we saw in the first leg. So I'll give him 6 out of 10 in today's game.
Yanko Albert last week super Albert and a quiet game.
Of course, the player will share 3 goals in the first leg there. There's no way the opponent coach will watch you to do similar thing
you did now as a 2 players
san obey because player on ultimate 3 no san create spaces for other players in there opponents be no ba you will be the man to mark you out, and they did that even though no some chances be a ton wa na on team for born into what but could be by or then left a ball short to be which it was a good striking from him. But in today's game, like you said earlier, match as we saw in the first leg, and a reason because Coach Sani Emma plays a big general so because on her Kwara in Accra Sports Stadium in today's game he decided that let's stop Abetamwa, let's stop Peter Midwaka, and let's see how Kotoko was scoring. And no wonder Kotoko had to go not from these 2 players but from Hubert Gyau in today's game. And I'll give Aranti a friend Albert 7 out of 10 in today's game.
And then Morfin Donzo.
Morfin has proving that in the absence of Kwame Poku, Unyi Obi obetime assist Aranti Freno Abetamwa is the right player to rely on him, even though he could not score in today's game. But at least when you get the ball, the passing, the movement, the positioning in the opponent box, was always a problem for Kwara United to defend. The only problem I can say, going to him, they need to find him how he can score the goal for them. It's either you pass the ball to the left field and I say Uber cross the ball no no need to head the ball. Because Kotoko one player be by what he was good at it was to head the ball. No one at the form there be.
Yeah.
Kalu Atara.
Yeah, Kalu.
On no born there na yum dia na be but na form pass Kalu Atara be. And today's game Morphine Dozu, I mean, who say, even though for Kwame Poku, Nitin and 9 years, but Morphine Dozu, Kakra Machine, it looks like he's more in the air better as compared to the ball to grounds and mano. And in today's game, he was creating some decent chances for Abetamwa. Omoko Morphine Dozu will be there's a gap for Abetamwa to fill, and it was unfortunate that passes on man as compared to a first leg now and Kabet bit match goals in the B and I can't stand Kotoko. I'll give Morphine Dozu 6 out of 10 in today's game. He wasn't too bad, he wasn't too convincing, but I still think that Rich more playing time as a coach, he decided to say no, you should know us the number 9, and I said on that all build attacking everything who are there, then we see the best out of Morphine Dozu. He wasn't bad and he wasn't too convincing for me.
I know Morphine Dozu. And so and Asante Kotoko player ratings. I don't know game ni mu. Yenkai